I can't believe I am saying this. I can't believe I'm making this video. Call of Duty is now in a worse state than I have ever seen it. It is officially at that point. And I said I wasn't going to make any more videos like this on this channel that weren't highly edited, but I needed to get this off my chest. This is ridiculous. So just to be clear, whenever these updates normally happen, they're going to be over on my second channel when I read through the patch notes, everything like that. But this video was bigger. I needed to get this out to as many people as possible because today was supposed to be the update after Christmas break that started the snowball down the hill, coming down the hill, that was supposed to build up and be the fix that Warzone and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 needed to the servers, to the hackers, the skill-based matchmaking, all of these complaints that people were having. They were supposed to start to be fixed today, or at least this week. And then we got update 1.06. And as it turns out, the game is more broken than ever. Like, ever. I don't think I've ever seen Call of Duty this broken. Now, I want to make this clear, and I'm going to say this very quickly. From now on, after today, whenever there's an update, it's going to be on my second channel. So make sure you're subscribed to the second channel. We have another plan for over here. It is coming very, very soon. There's going to be this wicked news show that's going to incorporate everything. First-person shooters, Call of Duty, anything along those lines coming up here. You guys are going to love it. That's coming soon. But as far as what is going on here, where do I begin? Let's start out with the patch notes. So as you can see, today we got brand new patch notes. These are for Warzone. It is update 1.066, I believe is what it is. Now, this is all. This is the patch notes. They fixed an issue where the loading screens were causing instances of freezing or crashing. Obviously a big problem. You couldn't play the game. They fixed that. They also fixed an issue with bullet trajectory on the ARM Mod 4. That's the new sniper rifle. They fixed that. Fixed an issue in Resurgence where a player dying out of bounds would lose functionality of their field upgrades and kill streaks. Small issue. Fixed an issue where models weren't visible for ammo boxes, self-revives, and throwing knives. Small issue. Fixed an issue where players could not have a death icon when dying to red light, green light. Okay. There's no mention about hackers, which we kind of knew was going to be the case. There is no mention about servers, and we know there's not going to be any mention about skill-based matchmaking. So all of the biggest things, there was no mention of them. Now, this just, it keeps on going, because on top of this, let's go over to Charlie Intel. The new Warzone update appears to have added new issues into ranked play. There's players under the map, buy station issues, and more. Yikes. So, are we done? No, we're not done. Somehow, beyond all of this, there's more. Because today's update also introduced another issue. Because when this update went live, you can see right here 59 minutes ago, as we roll out the current update, players may temporarily notice longer than usual matchmaking times. Now, based off of what we were seeing here, if we go back to Charlie Intel, we can see that the new update for Call of Duty appears to have broken matchmaking. Players in Black Ops 6 and Warzone currently stuck in long matchmaking queues. Now, from what I saw, these matchmaking queues were not just extended. They were not just longer. They were inevitable. They were just nonstop. You were going to be in matchmaking for basically 5, 10, 15 minutes and could not get in a game. Now, this was supposed to be the update. This was supposed to be the update that began the fix for the game. Like, people are at their wits' end with Call of Duty. Already, over half of the player base, at least on Steam, has jumped ship over to Marvel Rivals. There's Delta Force that's out there. There's Arma that some people are playing now. People are just jumping ship because when you expect the game to be fixed, when you expect this polished game to be working for you, and every update that comes out breaks more and more and more, and the things that need to be fixed, like hackers and servers, are not even being addressed. Not to mention, when this update came out, patch notes were not out for like an hour after it actually came out. All of this is just building up and building and building and building to this just massive problem with the game that's like beyond the game. And I think it comes down to this. I really do think this needs to be said. Communication is the biggest issue here. Just hands down, it is communication. Why there is not someone writing in Twitter in the blog post today saying, listen, we know there are problems with hackers. We know there are problems with servers. We know that all of these things are going on. And we have teams over at Raven working on the hacker and Ricochet issues. We have teams over at Treyarch or wherever working on our servers. Someone behind the scene at Activision is out there right now trying to purchase better servers, or we're in talks with Microsoft to start using their servers instead of the ones that we're currently live on. But there's none of that. And here's why. This is the reason why this isn't happening. Because behind the scenes, what is going on is there is a comms team. At Activision, there is a comms team. That comms team is in charge of Twitter and all of that. But it's not one person. It is an entire team. So when something goes wrong, decisions have to be made amongst that team. And to make those decisions, if it's with Warzone, they have to reach out to Raven and find out the fix that Raven is working on. Is Raven working on a fix for ranked play? Are they working on a fix for the players that are now under the map? Or is the Ricochet team fixing the anti-cheat? Then that information has to be sent back to the comms team at Activision. They have to either approve it or not. It has to then be sent out to legal, who has to approve what they are saying. Legal has to send it back to the comms team, and then comms team can finally put it out. By the time it's finally put out, there's 15 more issues found with the game, and now people aren't worried about that issue, they're worried about something else altogether. There are so many cooks in one kitchen that it is not possible to stay on top of anything that is going on with the community, and that is the biggest problem. I don't care what anyone says about hackers or anything else. The biggest problem is that they're not allowed to communicate because it has to go through legal, it has to go through the comms team. It's not like one person is just working at Raven being like, hey, we know Ricochet is broken and it needs to be fixed and we're doing everything that we can. This is the date that it's scheduled for, but no promises. We're doing our best here. They're not allowed to say that. And why, I don't know. There needs to be someone who works at each department. There needs to be someone in charge of zombies. There needs to be someone in charge of multiplayer. There needs to be someone in charge of Warzone that can just go on their phone, tweet out, we know about this, we're working on it. And technically, if I go back to what we were looking at before, there is this update Twitter account. There is this Twitter account that you are seeing right here. That's Call of Duty updates and should be that. And technically, yes, that is what it is, but everything needs to be approved. Everything needs to go through all of these channels and be approved and gone through the team and everything along those lines. It's just to the point where simple needs to be there. When you're working on a games as a service, not only should all of these things already be working, when they're broken, the communication needs to be there. And with all of the hands in one kitchen and everyone trying to put out fixes and fix all of these things, it just more and more keeps getting broken. And they think they just need to admit that. And here's the issue. 3 months from now, we'll say 4 months from now, we're already going to be moving on to the next Call of Duty game. The hype cycle, the leak cycle, the Call of Duty hype train is going to start to be building for that next Call of Duty game. That's rumored to be kind of like a remaster / new iteration / sequel to Black Ops 2, taking place somewhat in the near future. The game's over at that point. Like by the time season 3 comes out, which as of today, there was rumors that season 3 is going to be when Verdansk is put in. And by God, they better have fixed the anti-cheat by then. It's like months after that, like 3-4 months after that, that we're already onto the hype train of the next Call of Duty game. And then we have Call of Duty next, and then the next game's out. Because there's this game every single year, they don't have time to be trying to fix all of these little things. These things need to be ironed out. If the game is in Call of Duty HQ, there is no reason why anti-cheat shouldn't be working day in and day out. There's no reason. They don't have a reason for it anymore. If they keep carrying Warzone over, there's no reason why it should be broken every single year. It's carried over. And I get that they're introducing new things, but it's just at the point where every single update comes out, it is more broken time after time after time after time. And we're all waiting. We're all waiting for this update that's going to fix all of these things. And I am worried it is simply not going to happen, because at this point, when you introduce this new update, no one can get into a game. When they are getting into games, there's now people under maps. Buy stations are not working correctly. All of these problems are there. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing at this point? So, as I mentioned, this is going to be the last time on this channel that I make a video like this. Period, end of story. If you want a video like this with just me ranting, talking about what's going on in the Call of Duty community, go over to my second channel. It's called Ink TV. I do these type of videos. We watch other people's videos. We talk about the state of the community. We talk about other video games and we play other video games. If you want to be a part of that, it'll be linked down below. If you like these kind of things, that's what we do over there. From now on, there will be a news show on this channel. It's coming very, very soon. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping to launch it with the beginning of season 2. And it's going to be a weekly thing. We're going to have a bunch of other series going up on the channels. You are going to love it. I promise you what I have planned, you guys are going to love. It's just getting that ball rolling. But unlike the promises that Activision and Treyarch and Raven and all of these updates are making, where this was supposed to be the update that started to fix everything. This was going to be the one that started that. This channel is going to be like that. I promise you. And you can trust me. Them? Well, I think they've kind of spoken for themselves. We are